Falling out of love happened as subtly as falling into caretaker. I see now that it started on our first date, when I learned he took time to warm up and I decided to calm my vibrance while he met me. He learned to bring me peace amidst my chaos, and we fell in love gently. It also started a year later in our first kitchen, with his excitement for a life of comfort, full of travel, photography, and music festivals. I learned I could only create that life for him if I lived a career I tolerated, and I was safe in his smile, so I compromised. It also started among the date nights where I got him talking long enough about his career goals that I softened mine, keeping the eagerness in his eyes. In our second year, the world forced us inside. Isolation stole his mental havens, and he began losing himself in me, somehow shifting me into his center. I didn't notice this transition, mistaking being in love with taking responsibility, slowly stifling myself into an emotional hospice. I wanted to believe that he could revive the joy in his hallway if I just showed him the light switch, but in that effort, I became the light switch, acting as the glow to help him walk further, even if it meant dimming my own. I learned to invite him along with a whisper, and each time his face brightened, I got quieter. 2 more years of this passed unnoticed, until I caught a glimpse of his old self in a Chicago bar, not realizing I hadn't seen him in a while. He was again dreaming of a life he could lead, imagining pictures he could hold. His eyes were vivid again. But each date night I pushed through played behind my eyes, as if informing my heart it had already detached. As if building nostalgia of the partner I lost among my effort to heal him. As if he wasn't sitting there toasting to the next chapter with me. As if he wouldn't survive the trip home. As if I wouldn't survive the trip home. As if we wouldn't. I suppressed the thought of leaving. Why doubt a love from someone good? From someone who learned to love my brokenness. Someone who never hurt me. Someone who stayed. But the thing about suppression is that it will always run out of room. And the thing about relationships is they will always reflect unspoken truths. And so as I re-entered the world in a career begging to be heard, I could feel the resentment hiding in his support. When I found my fullness in the laughs of others, I could no longer brush off the toning down I had done for him. He said he knew my body language enough to interpret the signals it was trying to send me. He knew I wasn't intending to, but my energy was glaring at him when he too only saw it radiating in others. And when he saw our conversations fading before dusk, he could finally see how he lost himself in me. When I felt my relief living in trips he did not take with me, I could no longer ignore how each night I slept alone in a hotel bed, my energy refilled enough to get me through the nights and hours. When I felt my heart rebuilding in rooms he wasn't in, I could no longer tell myself our life was enough. And I began admiring apartments again, calculating a life of my own. And by our 5th anniversary, we faced our mutual disappearance. Admitted we forced joy and searched for solutions to problems we were too comfortable living in. And on our last night, we decided to fall back in love with our lives. We decided to choose each other by choosing to leave.